Hi, it's Robin. Today we're going to be making a rainbow cake, which are really popular for children's birthday cakes, but also they're sneaking into the weddings as well because they're so bright and colourful. So I have a large bowl of vanilla cake mix here. It's a very popular cake that we make and it's the basis and starting point of a rainbow cake. We use flour, butter, sugar, eggs and some vanilla extract to make our sponge, and it's a really nice light but firm sponge that's perfect for making a rainbow cake, which is actually quite a tall cake. We divide the mixture into 6. I'm going to show you how to do that with 3 because we're going to colour up the different layers of sponge. And we have some of our food colouring. We mix it together in the vanilla sponge, and you want to make sure that you get all of the mixture through because otherwise some of your cake won't be the nice rainbow colour. And exactly the same thing again. You want to make the colours quite strong because in the baking process they lose some of their colour. And then our last one is our red. You can mix it using a palette knife or a spoon. Rainbow cakes have 6 colours, so we would do exactly the same for the orange, the yellow and the blue. We've lined the cake tin with baking parchment at the bottom and on the sides because it'd just be much easier to get the cake out once you've done that. And you don't want too thick a layer of cake because then it won't bake evenly. You want to do quite a thin layer. Each layer should be about maybe 5 or 6 centimetres full of cake mix so that you don't get too big a cake, because if you do it much thicker than that, with the 6 layers you end up with a huge cake that's impossible to slice. These, because they're not too deep a cake, they'll probably cook in about 35 to 40 minutes at about 180 degrees in a preheated oven. So you just want to put them in the oven, maybe check them after about 30 minutes, put a skewer in to make sure that the cake mix doesn't come out, and then you're ready to cool your sponges and start layering. So our cakes are beautifully baked. We take them out of the oven, we've cooled them. I'm just going to show you how we trim off the top of the cake to remove a little bit of the dry crust and gives you this perfect finish to the cake. So taking a knife, a serrated knife, and you're just going across the top of the cake. It also reveals the lovely purple, but you're just getting rid of that crumb topping. You don't want to take off too much because you don't want your cake to be too low. So we have here a big pot of vanilla buttercream. We make our buttercream exactly the same way as anyone would at home. It's 1 part butter to 1 part icing sugar to a teaspoon or 2 to taste really of vanilla extract because it's a vanilla buttercream. And then what we do, it's slightly different to at home, is we have big mixers and we whip it up for about 10 minutes, which you can do at home as well. I mean, it gives a really lovely light buttercream. So what we do is we layer on our buttercream, layer up the blue, push it down, keep it as even as possible, and then you repeat the buttercream. The more buttercream you have on your knife actually, the less crumbs you get in it. Then we move swiftly onto the green. Then just our last one, the red. So you want, if you turn over the bottom one, a little tip is you turn over and you'll get a perfectly flat top edge. We're going to do the top and the sides, icing it. You have to do the sides in 2 stages. You go over it once roughly and then you put it in the fridge to firm up, and then you go over it again. And you basically go over it as many times as you need to so that you don't see any colour because you want a perfectly white finish. So we've taken the cake out of the fridge. It's now hardened up after about half an hour. The buttercream's not so soft, and we can now start doing our second coat. So the last bit, we finish off the top of the rainbow cake. It's a few multicoloured sugar strands for a perfect topping to your beautiful rainbow cake for birthdays and weddings.